And here we are at Daytona International Speedway for the first testing session of the AutoNation Cup Series. And there you see the 01 of Benedict Murdo rolling off. He is the first person to ever hit the track in a public test session in the AutoNation Cup Series in these new cars.
Just really exciting. There's Angel Gutierrez in the 25 as well. Coming out as well, I believe that's the 22. That's Jacques Miguel for Ongiorto. It's Stephen Colon in the 3 for Daytona Motorsports. Out comes Cameron Brennan. Justin Whitmer, your reigning APCS champion. He's joined on the outside by Aidan Smith in a very, very sleek looking 89 Popeye Chevrolet.
Yeah, look at Smith trying to go around the outside on the banking.
Maybe he's
already some interesting moves in the new car.
And I want to see, actually, this first lap in anger by, I presume it'd be Murdo. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much speed these cars are going to have right now, because obviously they don't have the full set of upgrades they'll get before Daytona, but, you know, already people have been speculating these cars might be really, really quick compared to the old cars. And I think they might be a lot harder to drive than the old cars.
Yeah, I think that all comes down to less drag, possibly. Just less overall grip and a lot more horsepower. What we're going to see is Murdo's going to have to navigate some traffic. He's going to have to navigate his teammate Cameron Brennan. But he is going to be the first one to set a lap in anger around Daytona. These cars are the only series that do more than one pre-season test. We'll also see these guys in action at Cape Cod, Massachusetts in a few days' time. Gutierrez, I mean,
46.9. Wow.
Blown apart the 01's lap time there. Gutierrez is not running full time in the ANCS, to everyone's surprise. The pride of RGR, their full-time AutoNation Cup Series seat, is occupied by Truck Series winner Orson Billion.
Yeah, Orson $1 billion, you know, that's his nickname here. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what he can do this year. Obviously, he's going to be a rookie in these really hard-to-drive cars. They drive so much different than the truck. So, this is not going to be an easy year for him. I think it's going to be a year of learning. But I think, you know, RGR sees a lot of potential in him to go out there and run really well. And, you know, if he can use some of that this year and just build as the season goes on, I think it could be a good year for him.
And it's a good thing with this test session. All he needs to do is go out there, gain experience, and get more acquainted with this car as we head toward Daytona.
Yeah, and here's Riley Spurley too with Daniel Voiles. Daniel Voiles to PGR this here, so a really big opportunity for him.
Yeah, I think to be fair to him, he impressed in the races that he made in his 2 seasons of Score Motorsports. It was just, there was a lot of DNQs, but TGR clearly seeing potential in that. They brought him on board to make their ANCS effort a 3-car team. And there's Luda Bennington in a newly renumbered number 4 Target Toyota Camry.
Full Send Racing, obviously we've seen it all through testing with the move to Toyota, but this could be really good for them. They've been stuck in the middle of the pack throughout the first couple seasons, so maybe this could be a big turning point for them.
Yeah, see a little bit of a pack right here. There's one of the other full send cars in testing. That's Reese Kupke. Actually, I think Kupke might go around the outside of Billion here. So impressive move there by Kupke. As there is Lexi Herman, new look this year for Herman. New, very different look actually compared to last year. No more bright yellow. This year it's all blue and gray on the number 53 Intel Dodge.
Yeah, Herman really had a fantastic season last year. Was unlucky to miss out on the championship. Just a bit of bad luck at Watkins Glen really took her out of contention. You know, or not out of contention per se, but really swung the odds out of her favour, and it was very close between these guys just here. And these guys are doing 194. They look like they were going incredibly fast, and in fact, the fastest time
44.7 from the 68.
Look at these guys here. That's Rago Kitson running part time in the third league car. And I mean, that's 201.
2-1. Wow. Yeah, I was gonna say we have not seen speeds like that. The APS cars average about like what 188.
Yeah, 188. The trucks in the draft can actually do slightly higher than that. It's a single car, single truck pace, which is slower than the APS cars, but in the draft, trucks are actually slightly faster. But yeah, 44.7 is the time to beat at the minute. Once again, 200 miles an hour into turns 3 and 4. And these are before these teams really had a chance to get underneath the hood and make some big upgrades to these cars.
Yeah, we could pretty easily, I think, see our second or so chopped off of this. I mean, it's honestly to a point where, USARC borderline might have to look into something. Is the speed going to be too high at Daytona?
Quite possibly. I mean, out of the draft, you use about 10 miles an hour. That's what I'm getting from doing a Bennington in the 4. But yeah, going back to this large pack here, I hope they don't do what we saw in the APCS race last year, where they took it 4 wide and just ended in complete calamity. They catch up to the 4 of Luna Bennington. That's going to be Lotus Espirito and a very new look, number 08 for TGR. Sponsored by AU.
They are a cell phone brand. Well, not cell phone brand. They are a wireless telecommunications company over in Japan. So, but they stepped up this year with TGR to sponsor that 08 entry.
That was a paid sponsorship there by AU. Is clearly explained here.
Rewind here from Murdo. I mean, you can be a little bit racy right now, but I don't think you want to be anything. You want to do anything too aggressive right now. That's part of swab.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
I think someone's pitting here. Not sure who. I think it might be Bennington and Swab.
Bennington and Swab down.
It's Boback Fox and Christian Vargas. Vargas, obviously, as we know, did not have a very good APS season or APCS season. He's running both. He's double dipping in the APS and the ANCS, bringing Napa sponsorship into the Cup Series. I mean, what are our thoughts on after the season he had being brought into the Cup Series? You know, is it risky? Is it a sign that maybe DM blame themselves more than they do him? What are our thoughts here?
My opinion on it is, you saw how Vargas ran in season 1 in the number 10 T-Mobile Ford. He was a top 10 driver. Last year was an off year in a brand new team. That 0 team was really not up to snuff with the R2DM cars, I don't think, because it didn't have the preparation time. This year to go for DM, I think it has to be, can Vargas, bounce back? Can he run well again? And if he can't, that's when you might have to start looking at Roberto Crown Jr.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that I think that Vargas has an immense amount of talent, and I think he will bring great results to that team. He's got a new look with Napa on board, and sometimes that new look can bring confidence to someone who may be lacking from a previous year.
Yeah, I do agree with that. You see the 5 right there, that's Blair McKenzie. Anthony Greenman, new look for him this year, new team for him this year. He's moved over to number 15 for BPM, and that is, I think it's an interesting decision here by both parties.
Yeah, Greenman just, I don't know, it was a different Greenman we saw last year compared to Season 1. Season 1, you saw him compete for wins and top 10s, but last year, he just didn't have it. And obviously, he'll be in Cup, he'll be in APS double dipping for SSR, and he's going to make some truck starts as well. So a packed schedule for the driver of the 15 car.
You see another pack right here. That is 00, as well as the new 26 of Brian Grigsby for Team Nippon GTR. So that's a new startup team this year for the ANCS. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes as well here, because obviously, entering into the ANCS, everyone's on a little bit more equal footing right now than you would be in the APS.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the APS, it's very... the pack is very set in their ways, especially at super speedways with SSR and BPM really dominating. But here, currently, the cars are practically spec. So, this is a very interesting pack. But yeah, the cars are practically spec. So it's going to be really interesting to see after those, first few races who's actually going to be out on top after these guys get an opportunity before Daytona qualifying and duels to experiment with these cars and get some upgrades on them. At the moment, as Roach Rockfield's down pit road, it's that man who's fastest.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much the field's separated by right now. I see 3 temps between the top 10. I'm not sure. About a second or so, yeah, I see Bank coming out the slowest time. Although Bank really hasn't been the draft as much.
It's going to be 4... No, not 4 wide. Ignore me.
As we see in our 2 of them, that's Joe Zeller in the 64, and that was also the 05.
That's
Isaac, side by side each other.
Isaac Davis in the seat this week. It'll be Will Parrish at Cape Cod in a few days' time. Yeah, that 68 looks very quick.
Yeah, I was going to say, that car looks... Ooh, boy, 77 got a little bit loose right there in the tri-oval, I think.
I think you can definitely see these cars are harder to handle than what these guys have seen before, and, none of them have been to Daytona. This is very much new territory for everyone. I think that's really showing here.
Oh, this might be 4... No, I think I was going to say Gutierrez fought about it, I think, for a second there, but thankfully fought better of it.
There's Nicolas Santiago in the 07, similar look to last season in the APCS. Had a difficult start to the season, but clawed back. I believe it was a 14th place points finish for the 07 team, and he'll be looking to build on that in season 3 with a fresh start, hopefully in the ANTS, when everyone's on a bit more of a level footing. Ooh, that was close.
Yes, a bit of a block right there.
Trying to see who we've not spoken about yet. There's Boback Fox in the 44. Oh,
Bennington.
Oh,
this might get
getting
sketchy.
close.
This might get really...
4 wide.
Oh, I don't like this move.
I think they've got enough space to...
I think this is going to work out.
Watch a run from 68. They might still be 4 wide off of the... Oh.
No, they got it. They made it work.
Fair play,
so
guys.
Bennington looking pretty racy here.
That was, could have been for a moment 5 wide.
This is what you can get away with, though.
I mean, if you're in a big pack like this, you can be pretty aggressive. Should you be? I don't know, but you definitely can be. Oh, I thought Zeller might look for it now. Zeller might
again.
You can only make it work so many times, though. I think. I think they're pushing their luck a little bit right now.
Yeah, they might just be the 41 doesn't have as much space.
They rub against each other a little bit, maybe, but once again, they make it. We're only gonna have more cars in this pack in a second here. This might get really, really dicey in a minute.
I need to talk about, as many people as we can in the test, but this is just brilliant to watch. It's Ricky Freeman Jr., by the way, over on Giotto this season, continuing the legacy of the late Aidan Martin in the 41 for that team. RFJ recently off his first win of his career at Riverside after a long, long time coming.
Yeah, it was good to see RFJ finally get a win here. I mean, it took him obviously a long time, as you said, but I think the war was all worth it. I think this year that team has to be at least considered a favorite for the championship.
I think that's the thing with favourite for a championship as well. You've got to remember this year we've got the chase for the cup. There's so much more at stake, and it's such an unknown because the cars aren't upgraded yet, and we don't know where teams are going to take the cars. And that was very risky 3 wide there by the 08.
Yeah, but they're making it work at least right now.
It's very dicey racing though, as Royals leads this pack. It's currently Stephen Colon who's actually set the fastest time. He is somewhere around... Oh, he's in the pits now.
Oh, he's on pit road.
Taking a well-deserved break after going fastest in testing. Looks like 25 and 68.
Boy.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That was close.
Bit of a moment there. There goes Zeller. The number 64 Glencore Chevrolet, new sponsor this year for him. Around a 70 of oils.
These guys seem to have calmed down a little bit. Maybe the 4 wide was a bit too risky. I can't see that happening again this time round, as we've got another pack forming up here. Cameron Brennan in the double zeros, Peter Onjak, season 1 champion in the 14. These guys just coming around now. I think we might see another pit stop here. Yeah, Riley Spurley-Tube and Cameron Brennan coming in. Ooh, close one there between teammates.
Yeah, I was gonna say Herman's down on mock qualifying sort of run right now. You see a couple more of them pitting. That's a 5 from McKenzie. So a 26 of Grigsby. I'm not sure the third one was 55 of Zachary DeLella.
I think a lot of cars right now coming down. Very much weakened this pack. These guys lined up fairly well. They will probably catch the 11 of Roach Rockfield. Very strikingly coloured Red Bull Ford Mustang. There goes a couple of TGR cars down pit road as well.
Oh boy, wow.
That was a close one from Christian Vargas. They managed to keep it clean though. And I have to say, out of all the tests so far, this is definitely one we've seen come closest to calamity, I would say.
They're the most action-packed and probably the most fun to watch as well.
Yeah, there's a 10 of what is happening here?
Because someone wants to pit, but I don't think
what is
the 08's
yeah,
gonna have the opportunity to. I think this burrito wanted to come down, but they couldn't. Yeah, that was a bit strange.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about Luke Evans yet in the 10 as whoa. Late move from Fox.
It's some very strange moves as cars kind of coming in and having one last late run. But yeah, the 10 car there. And new colours on the 10 Subway. Four wide.
I think did the 08 just run out of gas?
I don't know what's just happened, but it nearly went 4 wide into turn 3.
I think this Brio just ran out of gas because this Brio just suddenly just lost it.
I think you might be right.
That thing's out of gas. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what you want to have, and thank God it's only testing. Just looking for another pack to follow, but at the minute, all fairly separate. I think cars just trying to get maybe a single car run going a little bit. There goes Caden Lemon. We've not spoken about 57. That's a new addition to the 5715 camp. Set to run part-time as
boy.
Royals had to duck out of the way. Everyone really taking a late stop here. This is the only pack that's really forming up. They're going to catch the 14. And if they all stay out and the 14 stays out as well.
Looks like they're all staying out right now, at least.
Yeah, right now that 14 is actually the fastest car on track, or was, with a 44.652. Incredibly, oh my god, that was close.
Boy. I guess Onjak wanted to lead that line.
Yeah, and they've lost a big chunk of speed there.
There's Murdo trying to go on the outside there.
Yeah, Onjak really forced himself. He wants to run in this pack. He wants to get more experience drafting with his fellow competitors, trying to figure out how this car works in those situations. Because between now and the duels, this is the only time we get with other cars on track, really.
Yeah. As testing coming to a close here, though, I mean, I feel like we've learned a good bit today about these cars, and more so just the speed of them, really.
Yeah, I mean, 200 miles an hour, I don't think is what we expected.
Yeah, and we also saw just how difficult they are with some people struggling to just hold on.
Yeah, that's the 40 very high, and it is because the 22 of Jacques Miguel is coming down pit road.
I feel like this test, though, I feel like barely some drivers I think did a really good job. And trying to have a look here at this leaderboard. But how about the 68 right there? That's
Virago
Braga
Kitson.
Kitson, fifth right now. Brian Grigsby in eighth in that team's first attempt, 57.15.
Isaac Davis in the
Yeah, Isaac
05.
Davis in the 05 did a very good lap there. Some different names that you wouldn't expect up front, but then, of course, headlined at the front is a guy that you would expect, that being Peter
Ooh.
Onjak. Oh, was it 26 out of gas?
Must be. And that was very close for a second. It was on the apron as the pack came flying round. But yeah, that's not a great end to testing for the 26 with Brian Grigsby. Please don't come up on the track. Oh, he stopped. Okay.
Oh, that's not a good place to stop. And that's my god!
My goodness!
We nearly saw a. I mean, that was. We
Oh
nearly
my
saw an
God!
unspeakable act of violence as testing comes to a close.
In a violent way.
Yeah. So, wow, that's your first ANCS test complete. Very exciting one. It's very exciting to see these guys out on track for the first time. We see these guys again in action in just a few days. We're going to head up to the northeast to Cape Cod for some road course testing. So we can't wait to have you there with us. But till then, goodbye.